brought this judgment upon themselves.
They are just lost. It is our place to guide. I've watched you kill each other over race and greed. Wage war over dust and rubble and the words in old books. And yet, in the midst of all this darkness, I see some people who will not be bound.
I don't even believe in God.
Well, that's just fine. Bobby doesn't believe in you either.
What's good? What's good? What's good? So this is going to be like a 3.5 because I'm going to add this to my other one because the other video I found is short. And I just like to thank everyone that watches my videos. You know, it's sad I got a lot of subscribers and a lot of my friends. And, you know, they support just by subscribing. But once in a great while, they'll watch something. But that's it, man. They don't... They think I've lost my mind, you know, especially with the FE, the level, the flat earth. But we're going to get into the inside the Pope's reptilian audience hall in the Vatican City. Now, I thought this was very interesting when I read it because it's fitting my topic perfectly. As you can see this picture here, it is kind of spooky, man, like the snake staring right in your face. That's in 2018. Who wrote this article? Let me see. Unconscious Realities. It was written in 2018, January 30th, by the New Aurora. Alright. Among many strange and suspicious statues, fountains, facades, and structures that occupy Vatican City, the Pope Audience Hall stands out in uncanny resemblance to a snake. Completed in 1971, the peculiar structure sits only partly within the actual boundary of the city/state, and the whole building, inside and out, is unmistakably reptilian. Now, personally, I don't believe in reptilians, but I'm open-minded, and I always like to keep it like that just in case I run into one day. Then I could say, well, I guess they do exist. But until that, I haven't seen one. And that's some comic book stuff to me right now. Now, is there a race that worships the serpent? Oh, but of course. Could the scientists have mixed serpent genes with human genes? Oh, of course. But let's move on. But wait, before we move on, what I just said, can they mix serpent genes with human genes? To me, it's a theory. I can't prove that. But let's move on. It's officially named the Paul VI Audience Hall, after Pope Paul VI, who reigned from 1963 to 1978. Apparently, he was the descendant pope, although he has been implicated in covering up for ignoring the sexual abuse of young boys by members of the Catholic clergy. He was alerted to these scandals in a letter by Reverend Gerald M.C. Fitzgerald in August 1963. So he was alerted and was advised to take serious action against pedophiles, although he never did anything. I needed a moment of silence for those children, man. That's crazy, man. It just blows my mind, man, how nothing was done. Nothing. I can't imagine how those children feel. You know, seriously. Maybe that's why a lot of these children commit suicide, man, because they feel as though nobody cares. I don't know. Let's move on. In this overhead photo, the building stands out for its usual shape, which is innocuous enough until juxtaposed with a viper's head. That is so similar. Huh. Designed by award-winning Italian architecture Pier Luigi Nervi, the building is designed to seat 6,300 people for a conference with the Pope himself, who presents from a stage in front of a giant satanic-looking sculpture. Now, I think it's a little odd how it fits 6,300 people, which is 3 sixes. Anyway, named the Resurrection, La Resurrection, the sculpture was designed by Piero Fazzini and was inspired by the idea of Christ rising from the blast of a nuclear explosion. Why couldn't he rise from like a field of rose petals or something? Suddenly there came to me the idea of Christ preaching peace for 2,000 years, and the place where he prayed for the last time, the olive grove of Gethsemane, I can't say that word, said Mr. Fazzini. In a book about the work, I told the idea of defending Christ as he here rising again from the explosion of the large olive grove, peaceful site of his last prayers. Christ rises from this crater, torn open by a nuclear bomb, an atrocious explosion, a vortex of violence and energy. Oddly, from an angel, the head of Christ looks suspiciously like a head of a snake, with its fangs open, prepared to bite. And it does. Now wait till we get closer. Huh? When I was younger, these people would dare post this crap. Nowadays, it's posted like it's nothing. They post it blatantly right in our face. But hey man, I guess they got their beliefs anyway. The interior of the audience hall also closely resembles as a serpent, strikingly with two fangs positioned over the stage. Both the stage and from the audience entryway, the room unmistakably resembles a snake, even though some write this off as a delusional thinking, warning people away from considering its deeper meaning. Human pattern recognition is wonky. We tend to see faces in clouds and rock formations. Same here, pareidolia it is called. The photographer specifically selected lens and position as to invoke snake imagery. Now, I know about pareidolia because I did a video on the Titans and how people see faces in the mountains and stuff and mud fossils. So, and a lot of that research, people like to use that word pareidolia. I think that's a common word to hide the truth. They call it pareidolia. Oh, you're just seeing things. It looks like a snake, but it's not. Hey, that looks like Chuck. We called his name. He answered, but nah, that's pareidolia. There is no snake in the real hall. There is only one in the distorted picture because it was a neat feature to put into the picture. Yeah, okay. And from the Pope's position on stage with more teeth. Huh. The massive stained glass windows on the sides of the hall are also quite reptilian in their design, featuring vertical slits and oval-shaped eyes. Huh. Wow. That looks bogged out close up. Symbolism and esoteric meaning. Sorry, I can't breathe. The Vatican, while located in Rome, is its own sovereign nation state. And look around the grounds revealing unimaginable wealth and a plethora of strangely symbolic pieces. The famous Fontana della Pigna is a massive pine cone which is believed by many to represent the pineal gland, a tiny gland within the human brain believed to be the source of the spiritual experience. I totally agree. Of course, the Vatican itself is easily recognizable from above as a giant keyhole symbolizing the gates of heaven. Design like this does not happen per chance, and the world's capital of great architecture. I just want to say architecture is like frozen music. Rome, it is ludicrous. Did I say that right? Rome, it is ludicrous to think that a female architect could design a building that just accidentally looks like a giant snake's head, even though the Vatican denies a resemblance. Of course they're going to deny it. That looks like a circle, right? With an X, which, if you really want to get technical, that looks just like the circle flat earth map with the center, with the magnetic north, the obelisk, with those two big circles on each side of the obelisk could be the sun and the moon in rotation on a magnetic circuit. I got an imagination, right? And then in the center you could also see the four lands and the four rivers, okay? Now I was going to say 7 continents, but there's 8 there. But that would look nothing like the continents. But anyway, that's what I see, man. Now, could it be something completely else? Of course, but I just let my imagination roam for a little bit. If I had a way to draw on here, I would show you what I mean, even better. 4 years independent investigators have worked to point out the dark symbolism on the of the Catholic Church. Noting that symbolism in architecture has long been used to convey hidden meaning. 6 Yahweh sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and many people of Israel died. 7, the people came to Moses and said, "We have sinned, because we have spoken against Yahweh and against you. Pray to Yahweh, and he take away the serpents from us." Moses prayed for the people. Yahweh said to Moses, "Make a fiery serpent and set it on a standard, and it shall happen that everyone who is bitten, when he sees it, shall live." Moses made a serpent of brass and set it on the standard, and it happened that if a serpent had bitten any man, when it looked to the serpent of brass, he lived. The Bible, Numbers 21, 4b through 9. In the Bible, the snake symbolized both wisdom, as in the Adam and Eve's tale, but more commonly it represents the presence of evil. Perhaps most common in the portrayal of the serpent as an enemy in the general, or Satan in particular. If you add to this story of the Illuminati bloodlines and the theory that the global elite are part of a reptilian hybrid race of non-humans who rule over us, with powerful institutions like the church, then the Pope's audience hall invokes even more curiosity. Either way, the audience hall definitely has an evil vibe to it. And this is no accident. The following presentation by David Icke goes much deeper into viewpoint. About the author. Buck Rogers is the earthbound incarnation of that familiar part of our timeless cosmic selves, the rebel within. He is a surfer of ideals and meditates often on the promise of happiness in the world, battered by the angry seas of human thoughtlessness. He is a staff writer for WakingTimes.com. This article, inside the Pope's Reptilian Audience Hall in Vatican City, was originally created and published by Waking Times, and is published here under a Creative Commons license with attribution to Buck Rogers and WalkingTimes.com. It may be reposted freely with proper attribution, author bio, and this copyright statement. Beautiful, beautiful article. Whoa, what's going on here? I might try to add one more, because that was kind of short.